Good evening, dear guests, colleagues, friends, and allies. My name is Erkin, and I will be your MC tonight.
Dünyanın adalet tutan, mevcut Uygurlarının avazını çıkarışlardan ve mevlamlarca kolak yıllardan kadirli İslamigileri.
You all have been fighting for the Uyghur people to end their persecution and to seek accountability in various ways.
Dünya Uyghur Qurultayı'nın şanlık 20. yılında hem onlar kış geldinler, coşku ve hayacan, ümit geldirdiler.
Welcome all of you to the 20th anniversary of the World Uyghur Congress.
Murasimimizni Uyg'urga ona maktabining o'quvchilarining istiqlol marshi bilan boshlaymiz. Hurmatli mehmonlarimizni hurmat bilan turishiga taklif qilamiz.
We will start our ceremony with our national anthem performed by the students of the Uyghur Language School. We encourage all of our guests to stand up to this part.
İstiklal Marşımızda bu kadar güzel olunda hedeflerini söyündirgen, devayımızın kendisi olan bu bağlarını Allah yamanın gözüden, yamanın dilinden saklasın.
God protect these children from the eyes of evil. They have filled our hearts with hope and
Hem de bu persentlerimizde terbiyeler erkek sındırıp, müşterlik edip gelgen Uygur'a anıtın mektubudan hidayet ustazlardan Allah razı olsun.
we would like to extend our gratitude to the dedicated teachers of the Uyghur Language School who trained and taught our children our beautiful Uyghur language.
Ösverlerimizin kiyimlerini yurtlarımızdan giyiniş, yasiniş adet boyunca layıken Menfundaki Rabia Ahmet Hanım başçılık hanımlarımız özleri bir kolla çıkan.
Ms. Rabia Ahmet and her colleagues from Munich designed and single-handedly sewed the clothes of our teenagers and children according to our traditions and customs.
Hatta biz riyasetçilerinin Murat'ın kimimi şu hanım kızlarımızın şivet kollarının namayanısıdır.
Even our ceremonial dress is a reflection of the beautiful hands and ladies of our community.
Milletimizin an'anaviy kiyim-kechak san'atini qo'llash, taraqqiyot uchun zo'r fidokorlikni ko'rsatgan Robiya Ahmad xonim va uning hamrohlariga chin dilimizdan minnatdorligimizni bildiramiz.
We express sincere gratitude to Ms. Rabia Ahmed and her colleagues who are making great sacrifices to protect and develop the traditional clothing and the art of our nation, even in exile.
Yani keyfiyatımızda takım yukarıda götürüş için Uygurya ana dil mektebindeki mayır özgürlüğümüzden usul senetimizin cevherini namayan kılan sama usulüdür huzur almayızlar.
Now, to cheer us all up, we are going to enjoy the Sama dance with our teenagers and children from the Uyghur Language School who will demonstrate the essence of our beautiful dance culture.
Selam. Şu böyle söyleşileri kutu sanatmanıydı. Bunun aşağıya cevabeti Ertuğrul İlahı'nın küz Kazakistan'ın icap kanı. Sıçma. Yani bu cevap kaynamasına.
Uyghur sentinin Germaniyada tanınışı da intayın büyük rol oynatılmaktan Uygur'a bağlı hizmetindeki olmak dostlarımızdan bu coşkun soru için rahmet ediniz.
We would like to thank you for this energetic dance brought by our lovely students from the Uyghur School who have been playing a very important role in the recognition of Uyghur dance in Germany.
Tövende Dünya Kurultayı'nın reisi, hürmetlik Dolqun əysa əpəndini eciliş nutqı için sehne teklifimiz.
Now it is our immense pleasure to welcome and invite the President of the World Uyghur Congress, Mr. Dolqun əysa, to the stage for his opening speech. Please welcome.
Esselamu Aleyküm. Hanımlar, efendiler ve dünyanın her kayısı yerlerine gelgen o kürek septaşların, teşkilat rehberleri, Uygur halkının fidakar oğlanları, emmemane dünya kurulğalarının 20 yıllığı münasebetiyle kızgın tebrikleyime ve hoş geldinler. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friend, Founding President Olmander Mr. Erkin Alptekin, Excellency Vice President of the Czech Senate, Deputy Foreign Minister, Vice President of the Bavarian Parliament, Ambassador Dr. Shi, Ambassador Kelly, Commissioner Nuri Türkel, and President Pempa and the former President Lobsang, Senator Gu, and the other representatives, all NGOs representatives. It is my immense honor and a pleasure to welcome you to 20th anniversary of the World Uyghur Congress. We are joined tonight by more than 350 participants from more than 25 countries, including Uyghur activists, community leaders, camp survivors, government officials, civil society representatives. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for making journey to Munich to join us commemorating this significant milestone in the history of the World Uyghur Congress and the Uyghur community. Eziyotaysa bir gün aramızda hürmetlik mehmanlarımız var. Dünya Kurultayı'nın kurgucu reisi Erkin Alptekin, Çek parlamentinin muavin reisi, muavin taşkı işler ministri, Germaniya parlamenti ve Bavarya parlamentinin taşkı işler muavin prezidenti parlamentinin ve Amerika ve şundakla Tayvan'ın baş elçileri ve şundakla Fransa'da gelgen senatörler ve şundakla yine dünyanın her kayısı devletlerinin gelgen ammi teşkilatlarının bizim kollab kıvatkan devletler teşkilatlarının vekilleri ve yuqorida o'tganligidek 25 davlatdan kelgan Uyg'ur tashkilotlarining rahbarlari va vakillari bo'lib, to'plam 350 dan ortiq mehmonimiz bilan bu kechada birga bo'layotganligimizning huzurini va sharafini yashaymiz. Hammaga tekrar xush keldinglar. 2 decades ago, in midst of period of global unrest, the World Uyghur Congress was founded, emerging as a backbone of the hope and the resilience in the face of the daunting challenge for the Uyghur people. When I arrived in Germany seeking political asylum in 1996, little did I imagine the World Uyghur Youth Congress, which was established by passionate individuals, including myself, would merge together with Turkestan National Congress to form World Uyghur Congress on April 2004. Reflecting on this early days filled me immense pride, for it was through unwavering dedication and strategic activism that the World Uyghur Congress has risen to be prominent voice in the international arena, successfully placing the Uyghur cause at the center of global discussion and amplifying Uyghur voice in the midst of hardship. 20 yıllık mürekkep bir tarihi misafirin başını götürgen Dünya Qurultayı bugünkü günde milli mücadelemizden vekillik organizasyonunda öz halkının işencisiga endi nurg'un davlatlar va xalqaro tashkilotlarning itiraf qilish erişi sabtaşlarımızın to'lagan behisob bedellerinin mas'uli va dunyoning har qaysi allarda faoliyat etayotgan Uyg'ur tashkilotlarining siyosiy faoliyatchilarimizning va avom xalqimizning o'rtaq tirishchiligining va fidokorligining natijasi iborat. Men 1996 yili Germaniyaga kelib siyosiy ijodkorda va bugun bu yerda bo'lgan bir qism do'stlarimiz bilan Dünya Uyghur yoshligini qurib, keyin Sharq Turkiston Uyg'uriston milliy qurultiyi bilan birlashib 2004 yili Dünya Uyghur qurultiyi vujudga chiqarganda bugünkidek bu kunlarni ko'raman deb pek ishonchim yo'qdi. Over the past 20 years, World Uyghur Congress has tirelessly worked to shed light on the human rights abuses and the genocide faced by the Uyghur community worldwide. For years, the Uyghur people have warned of the Chinese government's danger to the human rights, democracy, and the civil freedom worldwide, as we have experienced firsthand what it means to be oppressed by the Chinese Communist Party. The landmark ruling the Uyghur Tribunal in 2021 is officially recognized Chinese atrocity as a genocide and a crime against humanity, mark crucial turning point in all pursuit of justice. Following this, 11 national parliament and the Senate and one government have adopted resolution recognizing Uyghur genocide, showing the international community is listening and taking actions. Elbette ki bugün biz qurultayimizning qurulganligining 20 yilligini iftiqorlanish va g'ururlanish duygusi ichida ta'kidlayotgan iftiqorlanishimizning nurg'un sabablari shuki, qurultayimizning har qaysi allarda faoliyat berayotgan qarindosh tashkilotlarimizning o'rtaq tirishchilik natijasida bugun Uyg'ur masalasi xalqaroning muhim masalalaridan biriga aylandi. Shundaqla dunyoda Xitoy hokimiyatining dunyo demokratiyasi, inson haqlari va insoniyatning dushmani ekanligini bizning ovozimiz bilan to'lib ketdi. 2020 yili Londrada qurilgan Uyg'ur sud kollegiyasi Uyg'urlarning muhojirat tarixidagi zo'r hodisalardan biri. Uyg'ur sud kollegiyasi 2021 yili 12 oyda Xitoy hukumatining Uyg'urlarga qaratgan kırgınçılığını erkek kırgınçılık ve insaniyet karşı cinayetler hüküm ilan kıldı. O bir parlament ve bir hükümet Uygur erkek kırgınçılığını tonadı. In the United States, a significant milestone was reached with the passage of Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, making first law of its kind aimed at prohibited import of the products through the Uyghur forced laborers. Moreover, as the United Nations, we have witnessed encouraging progress in the recent year, as over 50 countries united to condemn China's genocide against Uyghurs. Additionally, the release of the first UN report on the situation of the Office of the High Commissioner for the Human Rights further endorsed growing global recognition and concern for the plight of the Uyghur people. World Uyghur Congress impactful advocacy and effort have resulted in the nominates for the Nobel Peace Prize 2023 and 2024. Besides this, World Youth Congress was awarded World Democracy Award 2019. Amerika'da kendi kendine kabul kılınan ve icra kılınan iki kanun Uygur tarihinde devrilmiş azizlerden biri. Uygur mecburen 1903 kanunu Xitay'ın iktisadiyatın eğer beyrancılıkta sevatkanlığı şahit olmadınız. Birleşken Devletler Teşkilatı'da Uygur meselesi kömür bulduğun devletlerin sani özlüksüz köpüyüp nöbette 50'den aşkan devlet birlikte Xitay hükümetini eğitle Uygurlar tarafından terörizmin topçuş yaptı. Ali Komisarlık Çıkanısı Uygur dokularını ilan kıldı. Avrupa devletlerinde hatta Cenubi Yarımşar'daki devletlerde muhakkiyetli lobi faaliyetlerini elip aldı. Elip alan bu Hristiyanlıklar neticesinde Dünya Kurultayı 2023 yılı ve 2024 yılının Tinçlik Mukafatı'na namzat oldu. 2019 yılı Amerika Kongresi'nde Demokratiya Negüsüş vaktinden Dünya Demokratiya Mukafatı'na nail oldu. The World Uyghur Congress is also committed to empowering Uyghur youth through training the international advocacy, social media, communication, and digital security to gain new generation of activists equipped to effectively advocate for their right on the global platform. For example, recently, I can very proudly say my colleague, Sister Zumratai, she got Roosevelt Freedom Prize. Our achievement stands as a testament to the power of unity and the invaluable support of partners who are committed to justice and the freedom for the Uyghur globally. Our solidarity is not just a moral imperative, it is a strategic necessity. Dünya Kurultayı milli davayımızın yaş nesilleri terbiyeleşke alayda ehemmiyet verip geldi. Halkara münasebetler, matbuat, alaka, dijital bir xəterlik sahilerde terbiyeye yaşlarımız növbette milli davayımızın her qaysı katlamında mühim rol oynatmakta. Şunu gururla geleyim ki biz terbiyeleyen, biz yetiştirgen tipik hizmetçilerimizin, yaşlarımızın biri her qayсыларының haberi болған gidek, yakında Zümrüt Roosevelt erkinlik mükafatına nail bulup Uygur yaşlarının cesaretini yendirketini namayan kıldı. Bizim muhabbetimiz dünya miqyasında Uygurların adalet ve erkinlikке sadık olan ittifaktaşlarımızın bibaha oluşunu ispatı. Bizim ittifaktaşlarımız fakat yalnız ahlaki mecburiyet yoksa demez. Belki bu bir stratejik ihtiyaç. On behalf of the World Youth Congress and the entire Uyghur community, I extend my deepest gratitude to each of you for your support, dedication, and solidarity. I would also like to express my heartfelt appreciation to all speakers for tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, musician, today, and the dedicated staff for working last couple of months for the preparation and to our 20th anniversary celebration. Your presence here today is testament to all collective effort to stand against injustice and oppression. Duk ve Uyghur halkı ortalıktan her birinin bu müşakkatlik yollarda biz bilen birge mangallıklarla, dava olan sadatkınlara, konuşumlara, hemkarlığımız için çeksiz rahmet ettimen ve bu faaliyet jarayonida yüreklerimizi su sepken sanatkarlarımızga, bo'lgan yig'ildirimizda so'zlaydigan so'zlovchilarimizga, mutaxassislerimizga ve bir qancha aydan buyon bu 20 yillik mirosimizni tayyorlagan bütün xizmatchilarga cho'nqur minnatdorligimni bildiraman. Lastly, I hope that we will be able to celebrate our 21st anniversary or at least our 30th anniversary in our homeland, Turkestan. Let's work together to make that happen. Dünya'nın 25 yıllık toyunu, en küçük kendimi 30 yıllık toyunu aziz vatanımız Şərq Türkistan'da ötküzüşke şimdi alırını bütüşlendirge hemimiz bunun için kuruşlayız.
Reisimizin bu cengiler ilham başlılıkla köp rahmet.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for these courageous and inspiring words.
Uyghur 12 mukamı senetkar ecdadımızın bibaha, mirası ve geçmişlerinin kamusudur. Tarihi yıkımlarımızın mürekkep ve hayatının yüksek namayanısıdır.
The Uyghur 12 Mukam is an encyclopedia of the precious heritage and traditions of our ancestors. It is a high expression of the complexity and richness of our historical currents.
Tevende nakşusularımızı, lerzan, lirik müziklerimizi Avrupa halklarına tanıtış için misilsiz fedakarlık gösteriyotgan Uyghur Avrupa ansamblının mahir sanatkarlarını kısaca tanıştırıp çıkmakçıman.
The Uyghur Mukam is a rich cultural tradition encompassing songs, dances, folk, and classic music, showcasing the diversity of content, choreography, musical styles, and instruments. Songs range from folk ballads to classical poems, reflecting various styles such as poetry, proverbs, and folk narrative, offering insights into the history and contemporary life of Uyghur society. Considering that it consists of 360 tones and 4,492 verses, it is really a great melody. Now, we invite you to enjoy the beautiful song performed by the talented artists of the Uyghur European Ensemble, who are doubling their efforts to introduce our songs, dances, and lyrical music to the people of Europe.
Uyghur Avrupa Ansamblının yetekçisi Muhtar Abdülkerim Canbaz efendim.
The Uyghur European Ensemble is led by Mr. Muhtar Abdülkerim Canbaz.
Kamil Abbas efendim.
Mr. Kamil Abbas.
Ve Kamil Abdülkerim Türkiye efendim.
Mr. Kamil Abdülkerim Türkiye.
Mömincan Rahman Ecep efendim. Dilzat Turd efendim. Ve arkası da Azerbaycanlı kardeşimiz Tural Rafael efendim. Ve onların orundışında Özhal Mukammed'in ariyeler huzurunlarda olsun.
The following performance is called Özhal Mukam Ariye by the Uyghur European Ensemble.
Felek bidadıdım gerçeğini hakim Mübarek oldum Kılağım tatmamayla Tutuyalım
Uyghur Avrupa Ansamblının ortadan bu güzel mumurga çeksiz rahmetimizi bildiririz.
We thank the Uyghur Ensemble for this beautiful performance.
Tövende Uyghur Avrupa Ansamblının Sonay Hanım'ın orunişteki ayrı-leştanlık naştır huzurlanma ister.
Now, we would like to invite Sonay from the Uyghur European Ensemble to perform the song called "Ayrılış," meaning separation. Separation from our homeland, separation from our loved ones, separation from our culture. Hello.
teşekkür ederiz güzel sesiniz için. Hürmetli görünenler, siz mehmanlar, hürmetli tamaşalılar, ayrıleştiren bu nakşa Janubi Azerbaycan'daki hazırki Azerbaycan Respublikası olan telpiniş, sevginişini keltirip eğitilgan nakşa, kandaktır muhabbet nakşası olmasın. Belki bir milletinki özünün ana vatanının birleşişi, şu vatan koynida, şu vatan tuturquda xotirjam, erkin azadda yaşashni tilagan bir naqshdir. Janob Allohdan aziz Uyg'urninki eng qisqa vaqtda vatanimizda azad, erkin yashashimizga tilakdoshman.
Thank you very much to our musicians and artists for performing this beautiful song about separation from homeland. May we all reunite in our homeland one day.
Bugün Uyghur Avrupa Ansamblı'nın yaş talantlı sanatkarlarından olan Mömincan Rahman Efendim ve Sonay Hanım'ın oranışında söygü huzurunlarda olsun.
The next song will be performed by our talented members of the Uyghur European Ensemble. The song is called Love, Söygü.
Sevgi şarkısı söyleyeceğiz. Sevgiden oluyor hepsi.
Teknik meselesi dünyada amiyeti var. Dokun kırmışlarca balandan tutmuş sekreter geldik hepsine. Her adam şarkıcık. Her adam da geçirip kıraş. Hep bu kıraş bir gençlikte tıkım koşar. Belki bunun dinki yana 10 yana 5 yıllık kaydı tıkım yakışalar tarihiyle tıkım koşar ötkene. Nesi kusum. Hepsi söyleyeyim.
үшін сізге көп рахметімізді білдіреміз. Рахмет.
Thank you very much.
Hörmətli görünmənlər, tövəndə naxşımızın ismiga layiq bolğan Uyğur Yavrupa ansamblınınki yaş, talantlıq sənətkarlardan bolğan özü qamlaşqan, kilişkən inimiz Dilzat Turdu'nun orunuşida çıraylı huzurunlar bolsun.
The next song will be performed by our handsome Dilzat Turdu, the song called Çıraylık, Beautiful.
Assalamu alaikum.
Bilge güzel oyunlar anlaşlar. Hemen oyun vereceğiz. Rahmetli Kuzat'ına.
This was much needed dynamic dance.
Tören'de Uygur Yavrupa Ansamblı'nın yetekçisi, okşaş vakitte ustazımız Abdurrahim Yettinki okugusu olgan Muhtar Abdikerim Cabaz Efendi'nin orunuşuna Beğişla elge kökbenli huzurunlar olsun.
And now we would like to invite Mr. Muhtar Abdikerim Jumbaz, who is the lead of the Uyghur European Ensemble. He was also of the famous and prominent Uyghur musician of the United to perform Beğişla and Def Kökbens.
Seçimlerine.
Assalamu alaikum, hürmetlik kardeşlerimiz, konsertimiz nahiyeti yaxşılıkla devam ediyordu. Hemmizge ma'lum vatanimizde nurg'ulg'an merdu merdallar yüzüninki töhfisini halkımız için berişlap bu dünyada kelib qoldi. Bu otaqliq muhtaramlarimizning ichida Mehmet'in teşnayı şiiri Tursun Kadir rahmetlik Allah qayım cennet olsun. Müzik bilen Beğişla elgi töhbemli diye nakşanlar takdim kılmakçı. Şu üzününki töhbüsünü halk için Beğişlap etken nurgulluğan karindaşlarımız var. Muşu sorunlu oldurgan karindaşlarımız şu muhteremlerin izini peşip davamlı şekilde üzünün töhbüsünü halkımızda Beğişlap ediyorlar. Halkımızınki hürliki insan hakları ve demokratik için tınmay tök uçup geliyor. Bu nakşıda eksekülgen mezmun derslere okşaş, müşahedotlarına okşaş, karindaşlarımızla Beğişlap'a. Kaynak kolumdan gelişi uğurla bakay, berhum.
Kerim Canbaz ustazımızga köp rahmetimiz bildirmez. Armağaysız.
Thank you so much to Muhtar Ali-Kerim.
Ve okşaş vakitte bugünkü faaliyette capa tatlatlan perde atsız kıyırındaşlarımızın perdene vakti yiyip, vakti için, kılatkalık için köp minnettarlığımızı bildirmez. Ularından alkış.
We thank all our colleagues tonight behind the scenes who are also controlling the curtains behind us.
Hürmetli tamaşaçılar, tövende Germaniye'deki pişkadem talantlık sanatkarımız Halise Abdullah Apay'ın riyasetçilikindeki Germaniya Uyghur Sanat Grubu'nun mayırlı terbiyetin orunlanan dolan usulüden huzurlandaysılar.
And now, we would like you to enjoy a collective dance performed by the German Uyghur dance group under the direction of Ms. Halise Abdullah, our very talented artist from Munich. Uyghur folklore culture has its own characteristics. The Dolan style, which is considered the essence of Uyghur art, has a long history and fame. Dolan art originated in Mekki and Awadh area in the south of East Turkestan. Dolan art can be said to be the foundation of Uyghur folk art. The unique Dolan style is known for its exuberant and vibrant beauty, as you will experience it today. In Dolan style, the Uyghur people's thirst for life, peace, and love between people is clearly expressed. So, we would like to now welcome you all to experience the Dolan style dance by our students from the German Uyghur dance group.
Oh
tazim qilish bilan birga rahmatimizni bildiramiz. Hörmətlik mehmonlar, yuqorida tövəndə bu o'smirlarimizning o'rinlagan dollar usuli bo'lsa, hammalarning xabar bo'lgandek o'tgan kunda xabar programmamizni berganto Germaniya Federatsiya hukumatiningki Bayern shtatida o'tkazilgan millatlar aro musobaqasida har qaysi millatlar ichida birinchi bo'lgan usul sizlar ibay huzurlangan naq mush usul shu.
Let's give another round of applause to our beautiful girls who dance this beautiful dance, Dolqun style dance. This dance actually received an award from the Bavarian government during the inter-ethnic festival that happened a few months ago. So congratulations to our beautiful dance group.
Hörmətli mehmonlar, hazır 20 minutluk tənəffüsümüz var. Sırtdaki məzilik, nazı nimetlerden behazur rızalanmaysızlar. 20 minutdan keyin murasımızı yine davamlaştırırız.
Now we would like to invite you for a 20-minute break, so please enjoy some refreshments and pastries. Thank you.
Murasımızga tekrar hoş geldinler.
Distinguished guests, welcome back to the ceremony.
Tövende aldığı Dünya Uygur Qurultayı'nınki kısaca tanıştırılgan İngilizce kısa videosu huzurumda oldu.
In the second part, we would like to start with a very short introductory video of World Uyghur Congress.
In 2017, Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples have suffered from unspeakable human rights atrocities at the hand of the Chinese government. This includes the arbitrary detention of up to 3 million Uyghurs in mass internment camps, systematic rape, modern slavery, forced sterilization and abortion, family separation, and other severe atrocity crimes. Their crime? A distinct ethnicity, culture, and religion. The World Uyghur Congress is an international organization that represents the collective interests of the Uyghur people worldwide. For 20 years, we have worked around the clock to promote Uyghur human rights at national governments and international institutions. Our experienced staff engages with policymakers and civil society partners worldwide to advocate for and shape relevant laws and policies to address the Uyghur genocide. Moreover, as a representative Uyghur organization, an important part of our work is the capacity building of Uyghur diaspora communities to train the next generation of Uyghur human rights defenders. The stakes of our work are very high. By now, the Chinese government's actions against the Uyghurs are internationally recognized to constitute crimes against humanity and genocide. 10 national parliaments and senates of Belgium, Canada, Czech Republic, France, Ireland, Lithuania, Netherlands, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, the United States, and the European Parliament have recognized the atrocity crimes against the Uyghurs as genocide and crimes against humanity. Through our joint advocacy work at the United Nations, the High Commissioner for Human Rights, on her last day in office, classified the situation in East Turkestan as a possible crime against humanity. But the Uyghur genocide has not stopped. The perpetrators were not held accountable. They are trying to cover their crime and show the whole world that Uyghurs are happy and prosperous people. As so-called counterterrorism measures are being legitimized, Uyghur culture and religion is being prohibited and punished. Under these repressive measures, millions of Uyghurs have been arbitrarily detained and forcibly disappeared in many Chinese concentration camps and prisons. The PRC uses state-imposed forced labor against Uyghurs throughout their homeland and transferred Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslim majority peoples to factories across China. Many international companies are profiting from Uyghur forced labor through their supply chains. These include, but are not limited to, the solar industry, car industry, global apparel and textile sectors, agriculture, fishing industry, and technology. In addition, the PRC security forces use hostage diplomacy and exercise transnational repression against the Uyghur diaspora in order to silence them. The last visit of Xi Jinping in East Turkestan shows that the measures will not end and the Chinese state will crack down even harder on the Uyghurs and Turkic people. The World Uyghur Congress initiated the annual International Uyghur Forum. The International Uyghur Forum provides a platform for politicians, academics, researchers, and activists to unite their efforts to end the suffering of the Uyghur people. With our first meeting in Brussels, Belgium, we managed to bring together policymakers and scholars to fight together against the brutal Chinese regime. We have since seen multiple legislations introduced in parliaments around the world and different campaigns to help end the Uyghur genocide. In February 2023, parliamentarians in Canada unanimously passed the M62 bill introduced by MP Samir Zubairi. This motion allows for 10,000 Uyghurs living in unsafe states to be resettled in Canada, whereas in the US, congressmen and congresswomen proposed the Uyghur Policy Act of 2023 to support Uyghurs in the diaspora and to improve the situation in our homeland. In different parliaments, Uyghur friendship groups are making an essential contribution to addressing the genocide. Just recently, a Uyghur parliamentary group was formed in the German Bundestag as well as in the United States, which makes it the 8th parliamentary Uyghur friendship group globally. Researchers and academics from all around the world are also supporting this crucial work with groundbreaking research, and global human rights organizations help make an important contribution to keep the Uyghur genocide on the global agenda. More so, UN Special Rapporteurs are working around the clock to provide us with key reports to help us push for accountability measures at the United Nations and beyond. As we celebrate a decade of activism and fight for justice, we have greater challenges ahead. We therefore call on you for increased action to end the Uyghur genocide and hold Chinese perpetrators accountable. Let us join forces to end the Uyghur genocide. Only together can we make a small contribution to a more peaceful world in these difficult times.
Hürmetlik mehmanlar, tövende yakınla qurultayının 20 yıllıqıga nazarlanma söhbət programması olsun. Bu söhbət programmasının riyasetçisi Luisa Griva hanım ve söhbət programmasına katnaşıcılardan Dünya qurultayının rə'isi ھۆرمەتلىك ئەيسا efendim ve Amerika Xalqaro Dini Erkinlik Komiteti'nin Ali Konseri ھۆرمەتلىك Nurgül efendim ve Amerika'nın belediyedeki sabık başarısı ھۆرمەتلىك Pelli Kuri hanım.
Now we would like to offer you a fireside chat looking back at WUC's 20th anniversary journey. The moderator is Luisa Griva, the Global Director of Global Advocacy at the Uyghur Human Rights Project, and the speakers are Dolqun, President of the World Uyghur Congress, Mr. Nuri, Commissioner at the United States Commission for International Religious Freedom, and Kelly Curry, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations. You're welcome on stage.
Perdenin içinden var.
Hey perde!
Good evening again. We've had a wonderful cultural program, and tonight we are going to spend another half hour thinking back over the 20 years. I am holding in my hand a press release. The date is April 19th, 2004, Munich, Germany. World Uyghur Congress calls for resolution in East Turkestan, Erkin Alptekin, elected president of the World Uyghur Congress. So, Dolqun, I'd like to start with you. At a 3-day meeting, April 16th through 18th, 20 years ago, it just says after 3 days of deliberations, 2 organizations have decided to merge into a united organization. The East Turkestan National Congress and the World Uyghur Youth Congress after 3 days of deliberation. Is that completely accurate, Dolqun? What did it really take to merge 2 strong organizations into a new organization to take the voice of the Uyghurs to the world stage?
Thank you, Luisa. Well, yes, and as you say, 2004 in April, exactly 20 years ago, and 2 major umbrella organizations interaction of Uyghur and Turkestan, Uyghuristan National Congress and the World Uyghur Youth Congress merge and establish World Uyghur Congress. Before we merge and establish World Uyghur Congress, there is two umbrella organizations, both based in Munich. It's Turkestan National Congress, World Uyghur Youth Congress. Why both major organizations based in Munich? Because most of some people, a lot of journalists, all the time asking this question. Because before and beginning of 2000, there is no Uyghur community, Uyghur organization in Europe. Munich is the first city, the first Uyghur organization was established. Because after Second World War, United States established Radio Liberty in Munich, broadcasting to communistic bloc. This is Radio Free Europe or Radio Liberty has had the Uyghur service for former or elders. They already passed away. Sattar Bulbuli, Noble Ahmed Pakhta in the United States, and Polat Qadir, and later Anwar Jan, and Erkin Altik, Ömer Khanat, and this all other guys came to the Radio Liberty to work here. So this is the Uyghur community, very small Uyghur community, and living in the exile and the Western country, particularly in Europe. So this people, and after Second World, after Soviet Union collapse, established first Uyghur organization called East Turkestan Union. Europe still exists, and they're very active. So that's the reason why, and Uyghurs today also Parliament Member Peter saying Munich is also Rinsbacher say is a capital of the Uyghur movement. Capital of the Uyghur movement, yeah. So because before and except Munich, there is an Uyghur organization. First Uyghur movement started in the Western country. Even that time, United States, Canada, has no activism, no Uyghur organization started here. This is the reason as a Munich-based organization. So 1996, I came to Germany. That time is Ömer Khanat, Abdul Hakim, and Farhat Mohammadi. So many my friends here, and we established World Uyghur Youth Congress. And 1999, East Turkestan National Congress established in Germany, Munich. We are sometimes very cooperative, sometimes very competition. You know, sometimes a problem. Yes, I'm honest. This is the one reason why I merged two organizations, merged one organization. Another important reason: September 11, 2001, terrorist attack was happening. Before this, Chinese government never blamed Uyghur activism and terrorism. After September 11, Chinese government immediately changed language because they are Muslim, easily label the terrorism, saying, oh, they are victim of terrorism, they are labeled any kind of Uyghur activism and terrorism. So this is the political environment, the world, and 2002, and United States or the United Nations called this Turkestan Islamic movement as a terrorist organization. So then we are decided, it isn't necessarily all Uyghur organizations, particularly World Uyghur Youth Congress and Turkestan National Congress, merged together, we established united and a strong organization. This is the picture of this.
Thank you very much. So Nuri, do you have any insight into that critical time that marks the beginning of the World Uyghur Congress?
Thank you very much. What a treat to share the stage with my dear friends, starting with you, Louise, Kelly, and Dolqun. My term with the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom will be ending in 10 days. So this will be my last official trip. And I wanted to congratulate Dolqun and everyone in this room for a remarkable 20 years of journey on behalf of my fellow commissioners and policy staff that admire your work, admire your leadership program. Two of us showed up in your Japan conference last fall, just to show solidarity to the organization and leadership. Dolqun and I met almost by accident in my second year law school, and it has a lot to do with this historical political turning point in 9/11. We were introduced by our dear friend Ömer. At the time, Ömer was at the Radio for Asia, the editor there. So I immediately clicked, as if that we knew each other for many, many years. Even though I heard about him during my college years and my brief one-year residence in Beijing, learning about Dolqun. So I always admired him, but I did not have a chance to get to know him. Maybe because of our age similarities, along the similar generation, similar family background, and our dedication to the cause, we immediately become friends over the phone. But everything literally started exactly 20 years ago here in this town, in Dolqun's house, a very modest apartment. I'm incredibly grateful to Dolqun's wife, Maya, who's also in the audience. I don't think Dolqun would be able to lead and accomplish all of this without Maya's contribution. Specifically, personally thank. She cooked meal for us, hosted us in this modest apartment, was sleeping on the floor and couch, discussing what do we do with the World War Congress. That's how it started. We did not have funding to put our guests in a hotel room, not a fancy conference venues. It was, we used a Turkish community center. And then it takes us to 2006. There was also a turning point. After my organization that I co-founded with Alan Sito, who's an audience, with American in 2003. Louisa, my friend here, who I met in Boston in 2002, when someone like myself attended an interface conference, gave us it's $75,000, very modest grant to conduct human rights research and documentation. That kind of paved the way for Dolqun's new organization, the World War Congress, so we should also try it. But during that time, there were no decision made because Dolqun, at Chinese request, was subject to travel restriction. He could not enter the United States, and NED leadership cannot travel to Munich to interview them, meet with them. So I asked Louisa, can you do something about this? And she allocated some funds, flew Dolqun Unlimited and Dirkshap to Bergen, Norway, have a one-on-one meeting with Carl. So after having that meeting, the World War Congress reached another level, being supported by congressionally funded organization that Louisa used to be vice president. So it's been a remarkable journey. Just to watch how Dolqun led this organization with dignity, with the resilience, with decency. So this is why I genuinely believe that this organization, establishing something is not that difficult. Maintaining, expanding, building movement is what matters at the end. So thanks to Dolqun that we are having this incredible experience. And I will be remiss if I don't mention Kelly's personal contribution to the whole of this. Kelly and I met. Again, Ömer Kanad, our dear friend, who is also in the audience, who the World War Congress's accomplishment cannot be even imaginable without Ömer's personal contribution. His wife's contribution, Medina, is also in the audience. Took me to meet with Kelly at her modest office at the International Campaign for Tibet. And our question was like, what do we do, Kelly? This was like a year after 9/11. Everyone was questioning about what the Uyghurs' ultimate goal is. And Kelly said, we have to pass a law. You have to have a legislative mandate. Once you accomplish that, then things will come together. So with Kelly's advice 22 years ago, we were able to accomplish two key legislative initiatives in the United States that now have become a powerful law. I can go on and talk about a lot of things, but in the interest of time, I just wanted to share these personal reflections, stories. I am most impressed, specifically in the last few years, since Dolqun at the helm, keeping the communities together. It's very difficult. I was the head of the Uyghur American Association myself for 4 years. where I had a tremendous support from Alim, the audience, and Gubab at the time. Leading an organization is not an easy task. Pleasing this many people from the different countries, different backgrounds is not an easy task. And in fact, facing this massive government that has no problem with the resources, tactics, strategies is another story. So in the last several weeks in particularly, since the news surfaced about the camps, massive camp system, and organizing these protests, thousands of people coming all over the world. Some of you in the audience, I personally thank you for all of your support, financially, personally, to this man to be able to lead this organization.
Thank you so much, Nuri. So, Kelly, Nuri has mentioned a meeting with you. Can you tell an origin story about your connection with the World Uyghur Congress and its own constituent member groups?
Yes, I'd be happy to, but first I too have to just say how honored I am to be here and sharing the stage with people who have really done so much to support this community, to build it into the political force that it has become, and who spend every day thinking about how to better serve this community and putting those ideas into practice and working so hard to accomplish those goals, and have been doing that for so long. It's just a real honor to share the stage with them. And I get to go back a little further. I remember when, so I worked for a member of Congress starting in 1995. So I'm going back almost 30 years now. And I ran something called the Congressional Human Rights Caucus, co-chaired between my boss, John Porter, and a member of Congress named Tom Lantos. And today, the Congressional Human Rights Caucus has been renamed after Tom Lantos. And Chairman Lantos was a Holocaust survivor. He co-founded this caucus with my boss, who was a human rights lawyer. He was a lawyer who became interested in human rights when he got into Congress. And we spent our time looking at human rights issues from the congressional perspective and getting members of Congress to be active on these issues. And one of the, we did a lot on China human rights in general, working especially with the Tiananmen Square organizers and the Chinese dissident community, very focused on Hong Kong, also very focused on the Tibetans, but didn't really have any communication with the Uyghur community, or even really much knowledge about the Uyghur community. It was kind of off the radar. And I remember when we were putting together the whole funding package for Radio Free Asia. This was at a time when Radio Free Asia was just coming into existence. And we were legislating to create Radio Free Asia as a complement to the Voice of America. And Lodi Gary, who was His Holiness's special representative, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's special representative, and the leading Tibetan advocate, I would say, in the United States, came to us, and we were trying to advocate for 24 hours of coverage in China. And he said, we know you're putting in time for Tibetans, for the Tibetan service, but we also would like you to add time for the Uyghur service. And we're like, what's the Uyghur service? What are you even talking about? And I would go to, we went and we did it, but basically because nobody knew what I was talking about, it was kind of like, yeah, whatever, Curry, just go away. If you'll get out of my office, I'll say yes to you. I haven't changed very much in that respect, I can say. But we started with a half-hour broadcast at Radio Free Asia in the Uyghur service as part of this package. And this was my first real engagement. And then I went to Tibet, to India, to Dharamsala, to meet His Holiness and to experience Tibetan culture in India. And one night when we were about to leave India, Lodi Gary was there, and he asked me and my other congressional staff colleagues to come down to the hotel restaurant and meet someone. And he didn't tell us very much about who we were going to meet. And we get downstairs, and there's this very
exuberant person that Lodi is sitting there talking to, and I'm introduced to this man, Eric Elpatan, and who was introduced to me as the General Secretary of the Unrepresented People's Organization, and as a Uyghur leader. And I met this guy, and he starts, he is the most engaging person. He has this huge personality. We stay there for hours talking and learning about what he's doing and what he's trying to do to organize his community. And he and Lodi are bantering back and forth. And this was my first real exposure to understanding. He was the first Uyghur person I ever met. And so I guess I kind of started at the top there and met him first. And then that was my entry point into this movement. And then, of course, getting to know Nuri over the years, seeing the World Uyghur Congress develop from its very small starting point to what it is today, engaging with these communities. And then I have to also then fast forward. You've talked about some of the intermediate points. I think for me, in 2015 and 2016, I was working at a think tank. I had been in government and left government. And a young woman came to me. She was sent to me by another human rights lawyer to talk to me about her brother who had disappeared in East Turkestan. And she had no idea what had happened to him or where he was, hadn't heard from him. Her parents in East Turkestan hadn't heard from him, and she was really worried. And so I started talking to this young woman. She starts telling me this, and I'm like, you need to talk to people at the State Department. Here are the people to talk to. I connected her to Susan O'Sullivan, another person who probably belongs on this stage as well, one of our great supporters and wonderful people. And I called Susan. I said, I'm going to send you this young woman. She's like, Kelly, this is, do you have any idea how many phone calls and emails and texts and things I've been getting from the Uyghur community in America? I'm like, no, I have no idea. She's like, it's just been snowballing for the past year. And I started to try to understand after that what was going on. Again, this was 2015. And that was when we really started to get the inkling that something was going very badly wrong in East Turkestan, in the Uyghur region. And from there, I continued to work with Susan, and I went back into government in 2017. And by then, we really had a bigger picture of the contours of the unfolding genocide and crimes against humanity. We weren't ready to call it that yet. We didn't know everything at that point. But because of the way the community was engaging with the U.S. government, and that wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for organizations like Uyghur Human Rights Project, Uyghur American Association, and all of the grassroots Uyghur organizations that gave this community the confidence to approach the U.S. government, gave them the tools and the knowledge of how to do that, and then how to start advocating, building an evidentiary and research base around these things. All of those things are what made it possible that when the government was ready to act, we had the community, we had the information, and we had the base of support that made it possible.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I think it's just by accident that we have 3 Americans here, but that's what we can tell the stories about. And it was the U.S. government the first to make a determination, a legal determination, that what was happening was crimes against humanity and was genocide. And if you're interested in knowing why did the State Department do that, I encourage all of you to come and speak to Ambassador Curry, because she knows how it happened. She was working there at the time. That's all I'll say now. So our evening is coming to a close. I would like each of you to say one thing in recognition of World Uyghur Congress strength. That original press release said that delegates, I'm sure many of you are those delegates from April 2004, but they came from 13 countries. And Dolqun, can you say how many countries are represented here, and can you say something, 3 words to recognize the courage and the work of all delegates from those countries? It's not 13 anymore. How many is it?
Yes, my opening statement already say 25 countries. Yes, at the beginning, 13 or 25 countries. Now is the, that time only is all Europe and some other country, very few organization. Now, last 20 years, so many new organization, new community around the world was established. Now is more than 44 affiliate organization under the World Uyghur Congress umbrella. Yeah, so the umbrella. So now, for example, first World Uyghur Congress General Assembly, we hold, if I'm not wrong, remember 26 delegates. 26. Yeah, 26 delegates from 11 countries, I remember. But no, last General Assembly, 7th General Assembly is 2021 in Prague. That time is 207 elected delegates. So from 26 to 206. This is good.
That's right. So as Kelly says, it's the hard work of people who, in their own home countries, pay attention, take it seriously, have elections, which is not easy, and bring the voices from their own countries to a global organization to help set the direction and bring new energy to the cause. And that's what has happened over 20 years to see that happening. Nuri and Kelly, do you have something to say about the work of all of the delegates who make up the World Uyghur Congress?
I would say the global presence and the strength and the role of women actors. I want to give it up to Roshan and camp survivors, Talbinur, Zumratai. When you look at every time, and this is something that we also talk with our government colleagues, you see really women's face from the beginning. I wanted to applaud all of you. It's been doing a remarkable work. And the other strength, I think, is the generosity of the Uyghur community. They just purchased a permanent office space in Munich, one of the biggest cities in the world, most expensive, I would say. Using donations from all of you and those who are not here. It's not that easy. We're not talking about a few $1,000 or euros. And also one other thing that I also observed through my 20 years working experience with Dolqun and other leadership, the dedication. Most people have their own jobs. It's not a full-time job. Only a few of them on the table. They're volunteer, the spirit of volunteering their time and pocket. And I can go on, I have a long list, but I think those are the three things that I wanted to share with you.
And Nuri really did steal my line about the Uyghur women, and I have to say, I have been just completely floored and absolutely so impressed. One of the most, I think I can say this, I'm not violating any state secrets or anything in the United States, but one of the most high impact things that really turned the tide inside the United States government was the reporting that came back when Mirabeau began to be interviewed by U.S. consular officials who first came in contact with her and heard her story and reported it back to the United States, to the State Department. It came back in cable traffic, just her talking to a consular officer, telling her story, and the story that she told had this massive impact inside the U.S. government. That cable got passed around. We were all sending it to each other. I remember getting a call from Matt Pottinger, who was the Deputy National Security Advisor at the time, calling me and saying, have you seen this cable? This walk-in at the embassy? And I'm like, of course, Matt. And then he's like, we have to do something about this. This is, we've got to do something. And that it was literally a huge galvanizing thing that happened. Again, part of that was, Uyghur woman. Uyghur woman named Aligar El-Tabir, who worked for Matt Pottinger in the National Security Council and made sure that that cable got on his desk, made sure that he saw it. We all were working behind the scenes to push this information up to our superiors. And, you know, the strength, the resilience, and the bravery of these women to come forward and talk about things that are so horrific that have happened to them. The character that it takes to go out and talk about things that are extremely taboo in your community and talk about them in a way that doesn't just make you a victim, but it shows that you are a survivor and how strong you are. This has been such a huge factor in terms of how this community has been received in the halls of government in the United States and other countries, in the United Nations and in other places. It has really been such a critical factor. And I think that the resilience of the whole community is the other thing the ability to keep getting knocked down and keep standing back up and coming back stronger every single time. And you're not all the same people. You have differences internally, and just like every other community, but that ability to take your personal issues and put them to the side while you're fighting this big struggle is really, I think, just incredibly, it's a real example for other communities that are suffering around the world from the kinds of abuse and marginalization that you're seeing. And then, can I say one more word? It's authenticity. The ability of this community to remain authentic in a diaspora is also just incredible. It is truly awesome.
We want to say thank you again to our audience for joining our fireside chat at the end of the evening, and we want to recognize thanks to our speakers, and thanks again to our delegates and everyone who's watching around the world. Thanks to all.
Bu aziz mehmonlarninki yaxshi va qimmatli o'tkazgan suhbat programmasiga rahmat bildiramiz. Rahmat sizlarga.
An enormous thanks to all our esteemed panelists and our incredible moderator, Lisa. Thank you.
Aziz mehmonlar, Tövende Uyghur Yavrupa Ansamblı'nın sanatkarlarından Memincan, Rahman ve Dilzat Turklar'da terbiyelik orgulangan bizning Naqshimizonlik kollektiv usuldan ve naqshidan huzur alaysizlar.
To end the night on a high note, we would like to welcome the Uyghur European Ensemble members, Memincan and Dilzat, to perform Bizning Naqshimiz, our song.
Tekrar Esselamu Aleyküm. Amanın gecelikler hayırlı olsun. Hazır Esed Dilmurat Efendim'den İli kalıp nakşilerden bizden nakş, bizden nakşine, huzur nakşinde olsun. Gecelikten ahır olmalı. Ayvalanın bulunmak için tekrar hoşçakalın. Belki sağlık oluruz. Aşağıdaki Bugün şu gecelikten yaxşı ötüş için güç çıkarılan aksekin arkadaşımı çabuk çevirgen olsa da Körün ayırarından öyle aşağıda liderlik olsun, avazlar olsun emniyesi güç çıkarılan rahmet, Taş, Erkin, Bertiya, Emel rahmet, Batu. Bizim akşam arkadaş.
nakşetler mikrofonlardan riyasetçimiz davranışlarıyla nahayet güzel nakşanlardan huzurlandık. Hürmetli köylülerle bugünkü faaliyetimizni ayem şartlığı inandık kollektif usul nakşiler ağırlaştırmakçımız. Kayırdaşlarımızın birlikte tenten kılışını ümit kılımız. Yani huzurlar sekimiz olsun.
Our last performance for tonight will be Ayem, a dance by our beautiful dance group in Munich. So we will welcome them to perform one last time to close the evening.
Hürmetli görünenler bugün gedik tımla murasimimizni oturup anlap huzurlandırmak için sizlerge köp rahmetimiz bildirmez. Biz bu murasimlarni o'rnash uchun jafotatdan apaylarımızga ve Uyghur Yavrupa ansambldeki jafokash san'atkorlarimiz uchun azroq shu Münxendagi Uyg'urlarimizniki ko'ngli var. Bu ko'nglimizni taqdim qilish uchun Dünya Uyghur qurultiyining rə'isi Dolqun əysa əpəndini səhriga chaqirdim. Qani rahmat.
We are extremely grateful for your patience tonight as we have celebrated the first night of our 20th anniversary. Thanks to all of the performers, artists, all of our colleagues who worked behind the scenes to make this happen. And now we would like to show our deep gratitude to everyone who made these performances happen, including the teachers from the Uyghur Language School and also our colleagues from the Uyghur European Ensemble as well. So we welcome our president from the World Youth Congress, Mr. Dolqun, to give a little present for them.
Avrupa Uyghur Ansamblı'nın bütün yiğitleri sergi veremem. Muhtar, Mümincan, bütün asistanla tanımlar. I would like to invite all members of the European Assembly, please. Okey. Hem de bizden güzel usullarımızda köylüler, bu usullarımızda oynayan kızlarımızda, yigitlerimizde yetiştirgen, mihnetsiz ecirler kılan Halise Hanım'a, Halise Hanım'ı, Nurgül Hanım'ı senlik teklifini veremem. We all enjoying beautiful Uyghur dance today. these boys and girls, most of them were born in Germany, never visited Uzbekistan, but they are growing up, and all teachers, respectful Khalisa, she taught such a wonderful Uyghur dance and survival Uyghur culture, middle of Europe. Thank you. Yana bizden moda ustazımız Rabia Ahmet Hanım'ın sence. Today we saw wonderful Uyghur traditional costume. The designer Rabia Ahmet. Please. And also Rahila Hanım. She also designer. Rahila Hanım. Rabia Hanım. And also I would like to invite the stage director of the Uyghur School, Feride Niyaz. Sizlerle Muşu Hazretleri Terbiyavat'tan Uyghur Anıtı Merkezi'nin müdürü Germaniya Medeniyet Marif Cemiyeti'nin reisi Feride Niyaz Hanım'ı sergi teklif ediyorum. Merhaba. And also, I would like to invite and the teachers, Zubeyda and the Dunu. Zubeyda, yeah, please. Bizim minnetkeş ustazlarımızdan Uyghur Mektebi'ne Zubeyda ve Dunu. Sen tek bunu. Evet, şaka bulanlar. And I also like to invite Sahide Hanım. Sahide Hanım'ı sergi teklif ediyorum. Beraber. Nerede bizim Sahide Hanım? Çaka memnun. And also Gülnur. Sınırınız sizin sergi teklif ediyorum. Buyurun. And Salamet Hashim, teacher of Uyghur School. Salamet Hanım. Ayaklar durma. It's a lot of contribution. Bana şu senetkarlarımızdan, minnetkeş hanımlarımızdan, ustazlarımızdan tirişçalı böyle şu bugün biz uzalandan güzel senet ne huzurumuz sunup bunu zorlandı. Hemen çok rahmet. Sizlerden Allah razı olsun. Minnetimiz razı. En güzel. Thank you very much for your contribution. Your hard work. göremedim. Kimler var?